Hey, it's Orly here with another episode of Seeds of Success, and I have, as always, my awesome co-host or host. I
Hey
don't know. How do you
guys.
even say that? Is it host and co-host, or is one person the host and one's the co-host? I think we're kind of even, I would say, when it comes to
I
Seeds of
think
Success.
so. We get it done. How's that?
Yeah, that's all that counts. So today's episode, we have high and buy. And high and buy is just kind of basically what it sounds like. Making sure you say hi when somebody walks in your center and making sure you're saying bye when someone's leaving the center. And I think we just jump right into it, Dottie. I know, I'm kind of going to go backwards. I know saying bye to someone is very important. It bothers me when I see someone I'm talking to at the bowling center and all of a sudden I go to do something and next thing you know, they're gone and I didn't get a chance to say bye. That like hurts me inside. I'm like, oh, I didn't get to say bye. The person was so cool. I wanted to show them something else or let them know one more thing before they left. So I know it's very important to say hi and bye before leaving and it's also a time to share a lot of information about your center with people.
Yeah, and it's really even more so than just hi and bye. Really, all your staff members the expectation should be that they acknowledge customers.
Yeah.
So be it they say hi, and sometimes acknowledging can simply mean making eye contact with them and smiling,
Yeah.
because you know what, that speaks volumes. Instead of looking down when you pass by a customer and looking at the floor, look up, look at them and smile. Right? A
Yeah.
smile speaks volumes.
Oh
And
yeah.
I know our listeners can't see this right now, but I would hope that the listener would be able to tell by my voice that I'm smiling. Because when you look at a customer and you smile, you your tone of voice changes. You can tell that somebody's smiling, even though you can't see them.
Yeah, and it's contagious because you'll see a customer not smiling, you smile at them, and then they get this big smile. So, they went from being kind of serious to, oh, this person's smiling at me, let me smile. And that's a big deal. And like I mentioned too, and I might have mentioned this in the past, after saying hi and just talking to someone, it's a great opportunity to share things about your center with them. So it's about hi, bye, and everything in between. I'm big on always asking, have you been here before? Because if they haven't, oh, trust me, I'm going to tell them everything about the center, whether it's party rooms or, hey, take a look at this arcade. Because sometimes somebody might, you know, shoot straight to the bar area and sit there, grab some food and shoot right out. So there's been so many times where I'm like, yeah, we have party rooms. Oh, yeah, party rooms. I'm like, yeah, would you like to come see them? Sure. They'll get up and let me take them back there. And it gives me time to talk about other things on my way back there. Over to the right, we have, our new lanes, we have string pin setters. And then sometimes it goes into what's string pin setter, and I get to talk about that. So yeah, it helps to talk to them, to say hi, talk in between, and then say bye. So there's so much you can share with people when they're there.
Well, and you know what? That helps them feel like they're important to you, right? And I
Yes.
know we touch on this same topic in other seeds of success that we have done, because it is very, very important. But just like when you go into a restaurant, I had an experience not too long ago. We went into a restaurant. It was a new restaurant we had not been into before, and we were sitting looking at the menu, and the waitress comes up and could tell that we were obviously contemplating what we were going to order, right? I'm
Yeah.
sure she could see the wheels turning. And she took it upon herself to say, is this your first time here? And she said, let me suggest some things that are my favorite. And of course, I tried one of the things that were her favorite, and my husband tried something that was her favorite, and we were very happy. But it was, and from that point on, we did start going there, and we would try to sit in her section because she
Okay.
was so kind, and we started to feel a connection to her. But she took the time to make us feel like, we were important enough that she could share some suggestions to us, and that meant a lot to us.
Yeah.
And so I think that was really a nice thing for her to do. But when someone comes in and you speak to them and you learn one or two things about them. Orly, you and I had talked about this a little bit once before, about how how important the conversation is that you have with the people that are coming into your center. And sometimes more important than we ever realize.
Yeah.
And with mental health month this past month, and there was so much talk about mental health awareness. It's something that we can have an impact on. And the people that come into your center, and when you speak to them or smile to them and carry on a conversation, number one, not only does that create that connection and that loyalty to you, but it also could very well be changing their mindset at the time. You never know where someone is. And just because they may smile back at you doesn't always mean that inside and behind that smile, something else might be going on. And they needed you to ask them how their day was, because the
Yeah.
conversation they had with you changed their mindset of what they were thinking about and what dark place they were in to a brighter, positive, I'm happy to be here because you said, I'm happy that you're here today. And we were talking about Robin Williams. This guy was bubbly, and who would have ever thought that there were dark days
Yeah.
for him? But so having that conversation not only is a nice way to start the experience, but it could also have a huge impact on the person themselves.
Yeah, and even if they, they might come in with, they just came from a, you never know, an argument with their husband, their wife, or anything. Maybe something bad happened at work. Their day might be horrible. You come in, you could turn that around for them. It might take their mind. I mean, yeah, they might have to go back out to whatever the situation was, but at that time there at your center, you might have just took pressure off them, and they were happy for that little bit of time there, and it took their mind off it, or it just helped them see a positive outlook on things. If you're being positive, talking about all these good things happening, it might just turn their day around. And yeah, you just never know. I mentioned this to you before, not on a show, but I follow a guy on TikTok and Instagram everywhere, Jimmy Darts. And I love this guy. If you've never seen him, you have to check him out. He's one of the guys that, goes and does a lot of like undercover, how would you say it? Undercover kindness.
Uh-huh.
And I see a lot of videos where you see people like, they're just doing it for, the likes or, the follows. But this guy, I've never met him, but I just know he's a good person. But there was one where he went up to, and he'll do the most random things. Hey, you want to play some football catch with me? He goes up to this guy on the beach. You want to play catch? And the guy's like, sure. You can tell the guy wasn't very, happy, having a good day. Starts playing catch. They're laughing. And I think it ended up being like, do you want to be my best friend for the day? So he takes them on, like, they're playing basketball together. They're like rolling around in the grass. Like, it's just two random strangers. And then he ended up coming on the video later, the guy, and saying, before you came up to me, I was having a really bad day and thinking basically this would be one of my last days. Like, he was contemplating suicide. And it was just like this guy changed someone's life, like, you just never know. You don't have to maybe go rolling around the grass with them, but maybe just,
Right.
if somebody you never know, they might say, I'm having a bad day because this happened. And you maybe let them know, I've had this happen to me before too. And everything turned out better. Things are going to get better. And you just never know how that could impact somebody that's came into your center.
No, you are very right. And it doesn't have to be like you said, it doesn't have to be an orchestrated production or anything. It's
Yeah.
genuine from the heart of recognizing that, the high, the buy, that's very, very important for people. And especially senior citizens, for example. I know probably a lot of our listeners have, senior citizen days or senior citizen leagues where they have senior citizens come in. That for some of those senior citizens might be the only interaction they have with people, and that's so valuable. It's so easy when you don't have outside communication for you to get in those dark places. So be mindful that not only is high good business practice and a buy good business practice, but it's also something that could certainly be turning someone's bad day into a not so bad day or a
Yeah.
good day. And you were talking about the random acts of kindness. That's okay too. You know,
Yeah.
I love doing that. I
Yeah.
love catching somebody off guard and doing things like that. And you can do that in your center too.
Yeah.
And It doesn't have to be big. Just any little random act of kindness. If somebody is up placing an order at your restaurant, walk up to them and say, you know what? We appreciate you being here today, and I would love to have your dinner be on me, or your lunch, or your snack, or whatever you just ordered. It's on me today because I really
Yeah, that goes a
appreciate.
long way. We just it's I totally had forgot this happened, but we were at Costco the other day, and there was a lady. We were waiting. My wife had ordered like a milkshake or something, a smoothie, and there was a lady standing there with a special needs son, and I hear her say, "Oh, how they have the water, you put a quarter in, the water bottle
Yeah.
falls down." And she goes, "It
Mhm.
looks like they're all out of water." She goes, "I'm sorry," and he's like, "Okay." And then she goes up, and I'm like watching her. I'm like, "Is she going to order him like a water from the stand?" And then I see her end up getting soda, and I'm like, did she not get him a water? Do they not have bottled waters behind the counter? And we just bought a case of water. So I told my wife, should I go up? And it can be tricky because you never know if somebody's gonna be like, what do you want? So I like doing nice things. So I literally go up to her, and she's kind of a little bit shocked, like, what does this guy want? And I'm like, hi, I'm sorry. I just overheard you say the water machine wasn't working. We just bought a case of water if you'd like one. And she was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. And she's like, but I just got him a soda pop. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, all right. And then I kind of walk away. And I think she was still in shock because she came back up to us again and was like, I appreciate it so much what you did. And then she had her son like say thank you to me. And I was like, oh yeah, no problem. Like I just, if I could help somebody, it's just a bottle of water. We just bought a whole case. And she mentioned where she worked and that she helps a lot of people. And she was just so excited. She was like, keep doing what you're doing. Like, I appreciate it. And I'm sure other people are going to appreciate it too. So something as simple, you know what I mean? Something as simple as a water.
Yeah.
And even I did that at the center, like somebody's not ordered any drinks and they might have kids down there. And sometimes I'm something as simple as, did you guys want a pitcher of water? Oh, sure. And that goes a long way.
Yeah.
And going back to the bye, I want to say, when you're saying bye to someone, that's the last impression they're going to get of your center. So if I've had times, there's going to be times where somebody has a bad experience for some reason, whether it could be a machine breaking down, whether it could be just maybe another staff member. You never know. So that gives you a chance also to maybe hear that from them, because a lot of people will leave and go do the bad
Yeah.
Google, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Review
Yeah.
online.
And so sometimes saying, hey, we'll see you guys next time. Hope everything was okay. I've had somebody before say, well, this happened and this happened, and it's her birthday. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me get you guys another game. You guys want to bowl a little longer? Yeah. And I was like, let me throw you on there for another hour. And they were like, oh yeah, thanks again. We were having a bad experience, but we really appreciate you giving us extra time. And it ended up being fun after that. So you just never know. And that stopped them probably from going and making that bad Google review. So, saying hi, talking in between, and saying bye, they're all important things to do.
And again, set the expectation with all your staff that, make eye contact, speak to them as they're leaving, as you see them heading to the door. Um, you know, thank them and tell them goodbye and hope to see you again soon or whatever. We have one local restaurant that as they take the names for the orders, they try to remember the name and the face, and as you exit, they tell you goodbye by your name,
Oh yeah, it's cool.
which is really impressive, because it makes you feel like, oh my gosh, they knew my name. That's so cool. So yeah, those things are very, very valuable, not just for you as a center and your reputation, but you could very likely be changing someone's day and not ever know about it.
Yeah,
So
another big one I think is, I mean, you would hope all your staff is friendly and talkative, but I know sometimes it's not going to happen, whether they're having a bad day themselves. A big one too is I've always made sure someone friendly is at the redemption counter, because sometimes that's the last they're going to see of that center. And if they're having a bad experience with their child, which we all know, if you've had a redemption counter, kids take a while, or like, oh, I don't want that after. Oh no, I want this. So if you have somebody that's working there with the kid really friendly and like, oh yeah, you need this and that. Okay, hope you guys had fun today. That's one last experience they're gonna know. They're gonna have at your center, and that's always a good one. So yeah, make sure someone friendly is over there.
absolutely. Well, Orly, this has been a really the topic that I could talk for hours on,
Yeah.
and of course we've committed that we're gonna keep it short for our listeners. These are supposed to be seeds and not whole plants, so we're going to be mindful of that. But um, this has just been a really good topic, and I hope that all of our listeners will take this to heart and realize the impact that something as simple as a hello or a goodbye or even a smile and a gaze in the eyes can make a difference in somebody's life.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can plant that seed and you guys can nurture it.
Yep. So just like we said hi in the beginning, and now I get to say bye because I wanted to go out on a good note.
Absolutely. Well, listeners, thanks for joining in today. Orly and I look forward to joining y'all next week. So make sure that if you haven't subscribed, you subscribe and you share our podcast with others. We would love to see it grow. Hope everyone has a great afternoon, and it's been a pleasure getting to spend a small portion of it with you. See you next time.